You got challenges that you're going to run across.
Okay, welcome everyone to another edition of is it edition? Redition? Another show. Welcome to another show of Elite Psyche. This is a program that talks more about mental toughness, mindset, your psyche, having an elite psyche. Most people who become successful in life have to go through a lot of challenges, and a lot of challenges. When you have a lot of challenges, you need a lot of mental toughness. And so the guys that I try and the ladies I try to interview here are those who have had success in life, and I know that they've gone through some things to come out on the other side. So those are the ones that we do our best to have on this show. Today we got a special guest, another special guest, and I want to talk a little bit about him right quick. Name is Bill Lester. Well, William Alexander Lester, but better known as Bill Lester. And Bill is a retired professional race car driver. He last competed part-time in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, driving the number 17 Ford F-150 for David Gilliard Racing. Lester previously completed full-time in the truck series from 2002 to midway through 2007. Lester was the NASCAR's only full-time African-American driver during that time. After that, he moved to sports car racing, competing in the Rolex Sports Car Series from 2007 to 2012. Lester has competed part-time in the same series from 1998 to 2001. And I mean, this is a special event for me because I met Lester at one of our speaking classes and just followed up with him and wanted to say, man, look, can we talk? Can we interview? Can we just find out more about you? And he agreed with me. So without further ado, I want to bring on Mr. Bill Lester here. Are you there, sir?
I'm here, Tony. Good to see you, man.
All right. Good to see you, man. And I really appreciate this because this is special, man. The more I looked into your information and everything that you've done, man, I think a lot of people are going to love this interview. I mean, I think so because, I mean, you are a person who has, you're an innovator, you are a creator, you're a person that stepped out, and I know we're going to talk about a lot of that because some of the things that you had to do to be out front and the things that you had to go through to get there. But let's just jump right into this now and talk a little bit about your background. I know that you were let me make sure I got this right. I don't have it right. Okay, tell me about your collegiate career, because I didn't know. Usually you think that a person that's a race car driver would just be racing all his life, but you kind of did it a little bit. I'm not gonna say backwards, but in reverse, because I think your book says something like being in reverse. I don't know, but so you went through college and got all kind of degrees. Then you decide to follow your dream and become a race car driver. So let's tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, you did basically encapsulate why I titled my book "Winning in Reverse," for the reasons that you mentioned, and we can get into that more. But okay. As far as my collegiate degree, I have an electrical engineering and computer science degree from the University of California, Berkeley, which was at the time that I was going through there, the second highest rated engineering school in the country, second only to MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, which I applied to and was glad that I didn't get there because I'm really not a huge fan of the Boston, New England area. So right. I'm a Northern California guy, got accepted to the school that was really around the corner from me because I was living in Oakland before going to college. Went to Skyline High. I'm a graduate there. But really, it was a means to an end. I did not have the passion to be an engineer or a computer scientist. It was a tool that I used so that I could really live my dream of becoming a professional race car driver. If you want me to, I'll back up.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to indicate is that when I was a very young kid, single digit years, my parents told me I didn't go anywhere without a Hot Wheels or a Matchbox car in my hand. And I was the type of kid that wasn't all that excited about street cars. I loved race cars. It was even the case that when my father, who is a huge sports car fan, and subscribed to Road and Track and Car and Driver magazine, when he got his issues coming home to the house, I beat him to his issues. I beat him to his magazines because I wasn't interested in the street cars that they were reviewing. I wanted to flip back to the back of the magazine to see the racing results. I was reading the stories about the races. I was looking at the race cars. That's what really, just intrigued me and captured me. And so, my father knew I had this basic love affair of race cars, but he knew nothing about racing, about, auto racing. But he was talking to a friend of his and, he said, listen, my son loves race cars. Do you know anything about this? And he said, yeah, why don't you bring him out to a race? I'll host you guys and he can experience it and see if it's something that's cool for him. And so, yeah, just short of being 8 years old, my father and his friend, who is a colleague of his at IBM in San Jose, we trekked up to Monterey, California at a track called Laguna Seca. And we watched these cars called Can-Am cars zipping by at 160, 170 miles an hour. Man, that set the hook for me. I was done. After that, I knew I wanted to be a race car driver. I mean, it was just as cool as I had thought it was when I saw it in the magazines, when I watched it on TV, seeing it there in person and experiencing, the sounds, the sights, just the whole aura of it. The environment was just intoxicating for me. But there's a harsh reality. My folks didn't know anything about the world of motorsports, right? I wasn't born into the sport. I'm not second, third generation like a lot of these drivers that are out there now are.
Make sure that you like and subscribe and hit the all button and all that kind of stuff, because we're going to have a lot of good interviews on this podcast.